What's up, bud? It's Rob. This is Apparel Success. And in this video here, I want to talk to you about a concept known as delayed gratification. I believe that this concept is the single most important concept for any entrepreneur to learn if you want to be highly disciplined and achieve a high level of success. So in this video here, I'm just going to rant about what delayed gratification is and how you can be better at it and apply it to your business to get better results. So here it is. Apparel Success is sponsored by my buds over at Design Crowd. And if you struggle with designs, then I recommend that you give them a shot. I use them myself. These are some of the best-selling designs on my website, and I got them all made through Design Crowd. You post a project on Design Crowd, designers from all around the world are going to compete for your project. You choose the winner, then you get that design. If you're interested, head over to designcrowd.com/apparel to learn about the special offer that I have for you, or simply use the discount code apparel when you post a project on Design Crowd. All right, so what is delayed gratification? Delayed gratification is where you resist the temptation for a smaller immediate reward in exchange for a larger future reward. And the reason why this is so difficult is because the limbic system in our brain is the reward and pleasure center. It's always going to react to the potential for instant gratification and for pleasure. Okay, and so this is basically a biological function that's embedded and written into us, and this came from our evolution. I realize that this is an entrepreneur channel here, and we're just talking about business, and I'm not trying to sound like a scientist here, but I have been researching this a lot lately, and so I'm just passing along information to you that I found interesting that's really helped me understand this better. And basically, the prefrontal cortex in our brain is what's responsible for our reasoning and our rationality. It's basically where we're able to logically make decisions that override our emotions. And so people with a strong prefrontal cortex are able to override this instinct to react to instant pleasure, and instead they're able to focus their attention on future rewards that are much greater and delay gratification. There was a study called the Marshmallow Stanford experiment where they took children and they basically offered the children candy up front, I believe it was marshmallows, and said, if you eat these marshmallows right now, you can have them right now, but if you wait in the future within the next couple hours, we will give you 2 times as much candy. And what they noticed was half the kids would eat the candy right away and the other half would not, and they delay the gratification for more marshmallows later and more candy later. And then they followed up with these kids in the future to see how they were doing in life, and all of the kids who delayed gratification and were able to do that and not just immediately dive into that gut instinct, but they could delay that and say, okay, if I delay this feeling right now, I'm gonna get a better reward later on. All of those kids ended up being way more successful than the ones who weren't able to delay gratification. Now, why exactly would that be the case? That the kids who were able to delay gratification were more successful when they were older than the kids who weren't able to delay gratification? Well, let's look at what goes into being successful at anything. A high level of discipline, a high level of self-control, a high level of willpower, and a high level of patience. And so the exact characteristics that go into being successful are the exact same characteristics that play into your ability to delay gratification. I see this all the time in friends who try and start up businesses and people that I see online that I talk to about starting up their business, where it's like they start with the idea of succeeding in mind right away. And they don't start with the idea of output first. It's always input. It's like they want to create that business just so that they can get to the end result right away. And it's just the complete opposite of how it works. Another thing to mention around this is that when you look at, say, the hierarchy of success, like a triangle, you got the top 1% up here, and then it goes down to, say, the bottom people who are really in rough shape or in poverty and things like that. In general, the people at the top are very good at delayed gratification, and they understand this concept and they've used it to become successful. The people at the bottom are generally more impulsive, and To an extent, it's really not their fault because they're really stuck in a scarcity loop. And when you're in a scarcity loop, basically any sort of resources that you can attain, you're going to jump on because you have to in order to survive. Whereas when you're at the top and you're in an abundance of resources, you don't need to cling to everything right away. And so you're going to have a lot more freedom to delay gratification, to accumulate more and more resources. What you'll also notice is that in any given domain, your ability to delay gratification, to make the smart long-term decision rather than the immediate gratification, is going to make it a lot more difficult to meet people like you. So for example, people who eat really healthy, who don't go out and drink, who, hit the gym all the time, who are constantly working on their business, they're on a trajectory to be at the top 1% of society, and they're working towards that. And just one of the natural consequences of being in that position is that it's going to be hard to relate with people because most people that you're surrounded by aren't doing those things. And so, I've noticed that with my own business. And by no means am I like this in every single area of my life, but when it comes to working on my business and finding like-minded people who are, really working on their businesses and as passionate as I am and willing to go through the things that I'm willing to go through, it's really difficult to meet like-minded people because there's only so many people who are this passionate about this type of thing. But the fact that you're aligned with long-term growth rather than immediate gratification, and you're willing to sacrifice in order to get to your goals, and it's becoming, say, harder to meet people that are similar to you, is a really good sign that you're on the right path. Because in order for you to get extraordinary results, you have to have extraordinary behaviors. And it's just when it becomes that obvious that you're separating yourself from the average person, it is a really good sign that you're on a trajectory to do some pretty amazing things. And I'd love to talk more about how you can get better at delayed gratification. The big reason why delayed gratification is so difficult is because there's uncertainty, right? Even if you study all night for the test and you don't go to the party, it's not guaranteed that you're going to get an A the next day. Even if you sacrifice 3, 4, 5 years working on your clothing brand, it's still not guaranteed that you're going to achieve success. And this is what I believe is at the core of why most people go for immediate gratification, is because going to the party is a sure thing. You're definitely going to feel good about yourself. You're definitely going to have fun. You're definitely going to enjoy your night. But the issue with that is that the future consequences are going to be bad. It's not going to lead to growth. There's zero chance that you going to the party every night is going to further your business because you're not working on it. A critical factor in the ability to delay gratification is trust. Do you trust that if you work on the process that you're going to get to the end goal? I know that for myself, when it comes to diet, a lot of times I just don't necessarily trust the diet that I'm on, that it will actually get me to the results that I want to get to. And so I do it for 2 or 3 weeks, and then I'm like, I'm just not confident enough in the process. Another thing is, do you trust your abilities enough? Do you deep down have sort of an unwavering belief that if you apply yourself, that you can make this happen and you can truly achieve the success that you're going after? To be honest, I don't know if this was through good parenting or not, but I've always had this sort of unshakable belief inside of myself that if I just work on anything, that I'll be able to learn it and I'll be able to get good at it. And I think that that's really what I've applied to my clothing brand and to this YouTube channel. And it's what keeps me going. It's this deep-seated belief and faith in myself as an entrepreneur that I can pull this off, and that if I just keep working on it, that I'll get there. And I've seen entrepreneurs where you can see it in their eyes, and you can see it in just the way that they're moving and the way that they're running their business, that deep down they really don't believe that they could truly pull it off at the end of the day anyways. And so getting to that place mentally where you just believe in yourself, if I do this, I'm going to get there. And all of that will allow you to get more aligned with this delayed gratification paradigm rather than just giving into impulses. The last component of delayed gratification that I want to talk about is how you do one thing is how you do everything. And so in your life, you want to assess where are the areas where I just have absolutely zero self-control. I don't have any impulse control. absolutely at the whim of however I'm feeling, and I always give in to however I'm feeling, and I have zero discipline. And I think that by correcting those areas, just working on those areas, it will really help you balance your whole perspective. And the more that you can just start shifting every area of your life into delayed gratification, the more fulfilled you will be. In a state of nature, there was no such thing as that immediate gratification. You'd have to hunt to get your food, and that would be it would feel like such a reward, I'm sure, to do that after a long day of hunting and being in life-threatening situations to finally come back and eat that meal. And that would be just like such a reward, and that's natural dopamine release. Where are the areas where you're just shortcutting that, you're cheating that, and get rid of that, because that's just screwing up your brain wiring. And getting more aligned with that delayed gratification is going to really benefit your business in every single way possible. So I hope that this video gave you some deeper insights into it, just got you more focused on it, and helps you in every single area of your life. If you got a lot of value out of this video, hit the like button for me. It really helps me get these videos out there. And let me know what you think about all this in the comments below. And if you haven't already, check out my free clothing brand marketing masterclass. All you have to do to get access is go to apparelsuccess.com/masterclass, and you can watch the whole thing for free. And if you made it to this point in the video, I want to tell you about the closed Facebook group that we have for Apparel Success. There's a link in the description. Follow that link, join us in the group, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.